The funny thing about my obsession with surfing, in the 47 years I've been surfing, I don't know if it's really waned that much. That's the irony, and that's why I can actually say it's frustrating when I can't go surfing when you want to go surfing. I don't think I really grew up completely. You know, I'm a surfer. So if I don't surf, I don't feel complete. Hi, I'm Ken Bradshaw. I live here on the North Shore of Oahu at 59151 Kainui Road. Lived there for 27 years now. When people ask, how'd you get started? When you're, 11, 12 years old, and you see all the fun and the joy of the beach, we kept trying to hassle our mother to take us surfing in a place called Surfside, Texas. We rented surfboards and we went surfing, and it seemed like this really cool thing to do, but once I did it, I just wanted more and more and more. I basically ran away from Texas at 16 to go to California to surf, and then lived there for 3 years before graduating high school and coming over here. I've actually started my 39th winter in Hawaii, and it's been great. You know, the great thing about living on the North Shore, in off-season, when the surf goes small or flat, we have the luxury of having amazing diving conditions, which really helps with your training. It's called hypoxic training. Basically, you're teaching your body to survive without oxygen. There was a lot of talk about, running with rocks underwater. You literally go down and grab your rock and traverse along the bottom floor on a sandy bottom, and that helps to train your body to be under physical duress while being unable to breathe, which is what a wipeout is. It's amazing when you're under the water, and it's so cool because you can run into creatures. Turtles are like little birds flying around you sometimes, not to mention the dolphins, when sometimes we actually make an effort to go hang out with the dolphins. And that's great because, watching the dolphins swim through the ocean and try to get down to their depths, it's really cool. The fish, there's always fish, and occasionally you see some of those little men in gray suits. In our process of doing this, a few of us started cave diving. We started with short caves. We started with just little islets, little islets like in a needle hole. And then we went into some of the caves, the lava tubes, and we started traversing the lava tubes. And then we started linking lava tubes together. Once you got mastered the confidence and security of without a breath for 30 seconds, you started pushing it to 60 seconds, like returning in the same lava tube or finding another lava tube and connecting the two lava tubes. So now you're down for 30 seconds to a minute. And then of course we continued pushing that limit because we figured you could always get held under for a whole minute by having 3 consecutive hold downs. So that's actually plausible, that has happened. So we figured we should train for 90 seconds. So we try to push it all the way up to 90 seconds. And again, this is stuff you do with people around you. You don't try to do this alone. when you're done, I mean, you feel like, yeah, I can be held under for a minute with total confidence, knowing that I can survive a whole minute without a problem. And that's a lot of confidence, because the biggest part of surfing is wiping out. Everybody does it. Nobody gets away without a wipeout. And a multi-wave hold down is pretty normal. People like to call them jet skis. That's a commercial name. They're personal watercrafts. PWCs, personal watercrafts. It's hard for people to understand that I paddled out to these reefs. I mean, they're a mile out offshore, some as much as a mile and a half offshore. So when the personal watercraft usage became a reality, my gosh, now we could catch not 3 waves in a day, but you could catch, 6 or 8 waves, or maybe even 10 waves in an hour. In '98, our plans completely went out the window when we got there that morning, because the surf was so much bigger than we even thought it was going to be. The funny story about this wave is that it's not the biggest wave from the day. It's just a wave from that day. That's why when I made the poster, which this is not, this is actually an artist's rendition, the poster is titled "The Biggest Day Ever Ridden," not "The Biggest Wave." The biggest wave was ridden about 11:30 that morning, and this was from about 3:30 in the afternoon. It's a clear misunderstanding for a lot of people, because they think it's the biggest wave, but it wasn't the biggest wave that day. What would I like my legacy to be? I think it's kind of already been written. I spent a lifetime chasing giant surf. My passion and my love for chasing giant surf has not stopped. It hasn't been slowed down really that much.
If I had a moment to speak with you, how you'd find the way I feel is true.
There's something about the personal gratification I come away with that fills my heart and soul so much that it makes me feel like I've accomplished something. And for some reason that drive is still so strong and so apparent. I guess they'll have to say he was a waterman. He was a big wave surfer. He was a giant wave surfer. And he had the confidence and enthusiasm that he never stopped. I love surfing. It doesn't matter how big it is. I love it.
Look at the life I